Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're diving deep into the 2022 film adaptation of Lady Chatterley's Lover, directed by Laure de Clermont-Tonnerre. This movie, based on D.H. Lawrence's controversial 1928 novel, brings to life a story of forbidden love, class struggles, and societal rebellion. We're going to explore the plot, the characters, the themes, and the way this version adapts Lawrence's work to a contemporary audience. So, if you haven't seen the film yet or if you're looking for a detailed analysis, stick with me for the next hour. Let's get started. First, let's quickly recap what Lady Chatterley's Lover is all about. D.H. Lawrence's novel was initially published in 1928, though it faced many bans due to its explicit content, especially its treatment of sexuality and class. The book tells the story of Constance Reed, a young woman married to Sir Clifford Chatterley, an aristocrat who is paralyzed from the waist down after World War I. As Constance navigates her emotionally distant and physically unfulfilling marriage, she embarks on an illicit affair with Oliver Mellors, the gamekeeper on her husband's estate. This affair becomes the heart of the story, exploring themes of love, lust, class division, and the tension between the natural world and societal expectations. The 2022 adaptation, starring Emma Corrin as Constance and Jack O'Connell as Mellors, takes a more modern, visually rich approach to telling this intimate, powerful, and provocative story. Let's now dive into the film's plot and see how the themes and characters evolve on screen. Now, let's talk about the characters, starting with Constance Reed, played by Emma Corrin. Constance is a strong yet conflicted woman who's caught in a loveless marriage to Sir Clifford Chatterley. What makes her journey so compelling is her emotional and sexual awakening through her relationship with Mellors. In this adaptation, Constance's character feels very modern. Emma Corrin brings a sense of quiet strength and vulnerability to the role, portraying Constance as someone who's not just seeking sexual liberation but emotional fulfillment too. The internal conflict that Constance experiences torn between societal norms and her desires is palpable, and Corrin's performance captures this beautifully. Then we have Oliver Mellors, played by Jack O'Connell. Mellors is a complex character who represents everything that Constance's life has been lacking. He is raw, unrefined, and unapologetically himself, yet there's a deep emotional layer to him. He's a man of the land, disconnected from the world of aristocracy that Constance inhabits. His character is much more than just the lover Constance seeks. He also represents the tension between class and society's expectations. The film highlights how Constance and Mellors' affair is not just about physical attraction but also a shared sense of rebellion against societal norms. The chemistry between Corrin and O'Connell is electric, and the way they develop their relationship on screen feels raw and honest. Now, let's shift our focus to Sir Clifford Chatterley, portrayed by Matthew Duckett. Sir Clifford is an intriguing character because, on the surface, he seems like the ideal, aristocratic husband. But as his paralysis takes away his physical abilities, he grows emotionally distant from Constance. Their relationship becomes almost entirely intellectual, with Sir Clifford focusing on writing and his desire to create his own legacy, which is in stark contrast to Constance's growing emotional and physical needs. One of the key themes in the movie is the juxtaposition between the mind and the body. Sir Clifford embodies intellectualism and rational thought, but his inability to fulfill his wife's needs leads her down a path of emotional isolation. This isolation drives her to seek love and intimacy elsewhere. In this adaptation, Sir Clifford's character feels more like a product of a decaying aristocratic system, one that cannot adapt to the changing world of the working class and the emerging power of personal desire. This dynamic between Constance, Sir Clifford, and Mellors is at the heart of the story and what sets the movie apart. Let's take a moment to break down the plot of the 2022 film. We open with Constance, a young woman full of life, marrying Sir Clifford Chatterley, who has recently returned from the war with a paralyzed lower body. Their early relationship is built on intellectual connection, and Sir Clifford is determined to pursue his literary ambitions. However, as time goes on, Constance begins to feel the emotional and physical distance between them. She's trapped in a world where her desires, both physical and emotional, are ignored, and her husband's focus on his own intellectual pursuits leaves her yearning for something more. The turning point in the movie happens when Constance meets Oliver Mellors, the gamekeeper on the Chatterley estate. Initially, they are distant, but as they spend more time together, a bond forms, first through their shared loneliness and eventually through their undeniable attraction. Their affair becomes a powerful statement of personal freedom, breaking away from the constraints of class and societal judgment. One of the major strengths of the 2022 adaptation is its ability to portray this forbidden love with such tenderness and intensity. The movie doesn't just show the physicality of their relationship but delves into the emotional and psychological aspects as well, how this affair transforms Constance from a repressed woman into someone who fully embraces her desires. Now, let's explore some of the core themes of the film. 1. Sexual liberation versus repression. One of the most central themes in Lady Chatterley's Lover is the conflict between sexual liberation and repression. Through Constance's affair with Mellors, the film challenges the notion that sexuality is something to be controlled, hidden, or subdued. The scenes of intimacy between the two characters are raw, real, and emotionally charged. The film challenges the societal norms of the time and presents a narrative where love, passion, and desire are not only human but necessary for self-actualization. 2. Class and social division. Class plays a crucial role in the narrative. Constance is from the aristocratic class, while Mellors is from a working-class background. Their relationship highlights the stark divisions between the two worlds, where physical attraction and emotional fulfillment are overlaid by deeply entrenched societal expectations. The film draws attention to how these class differences impact not just their relationship, but their ability to find true happiness. 3. Isolation and alienation. Constance's journey is, in many ways, about reclaiming her individuality in a world that has placed her in a subservient role. The film does an excellent job of portraying her loneliness, both in her marriage to Sir Clifford and in the larger, more traditional society she inhabits. She's caught between two worlds: the aristocracy that sees her as a trophy and the raw, untamed world of the working class that Mellors represents. Her eventual choice to pursue true love with him is, in essence, an act of rebellion against the isolation imposed upon her. 4. The natural world and the body. Another key theme is the connection between the natural world and the human body. Mellors, who lives in harmony with the land, becomes a symbolic representation of raw human nature. This contrasts sharply with Sir Clifford's intellectual world, which is sterile and detached from the realities of the human experience. The contrast between the body and the mind, nature, and intellect, becomes a powerful tool for exploring the film's central themes. Moving on to the film's visuals, the cinematography in the 2022 Lady Chatterley's Lover is simply stunning. The director, Laure de Clermont-Tonnerre, and cinematographer, in particular, create a world that feels lush and intimate, reflecting the characters' emotional landscapes. The sprawling countryside, lush greenery, and stark interiors all serve as a visual representation of the contrasts between the characters' inner worlds. The intimate scenes between Constance and Mellors are filmed with such care, drawing you into their evolving connection while maintaining the sensual and emotional depth of the narrative. The film doesn't shy away from the more explicit aspects of the novel, but it never feels gratuitous. Instead, the intimacy between Constance and Mellors is presented as a natural and profound part of their journey together. The visuals enhance the sense of naturalism, with scenes that often juxtapose the vastness of the natural world with the closeness of the characters' physical and emotional states. To wrap things up, the 2022 adaptation of Lady Chatterley's Lover does a brilliant job of bringing D.H. Lawrence's complex and controversial novel into the 21st century. It explores themes of sexual freedom, class struggle, and emotional isolation with a modern sensibility, while staying true to the heart of the original text. Emma Corrin's performance as Constance is both powerful and heartbreaking, and Jack O'Connell's portrayal of Mellors brings the emotional depth and rawness the role demands. If you're a fan of literary adaptations or films that explore complex relationships, this is definitely worth watching. So, what do you think? Have you seen the film yet? What were your thoughts on the way it handled the themes of the novel? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more detailed film analyses. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.